The Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals is a show where you bring cars for display. It's not really some place you buy cars. However, Mecum has been a giant part of this event for years, and you guys bring things that maybe at an upcoming auction you can buy.
Well, and this is the first time that we've really taken advantage of our presence here by bringing not one or two or three cars on display that will be sold at a future auction, but 16 of the best muscle cars in the world. All are going to be for sale at our Kissimmee auction in January.
So that's coming up.
It is. It's coming up real quick, and we really have to really thank all the guys at MCACN for putting on what has evolved into the best muscle car show in the world. I refer to it all the time as the Pebble Beach of muscle cars, and they continue to keep pushing that, and boy, it's just really cool to be here with all these supercars.
Or Pebble Beach is the MCACN of classics.
Yeah, you could look at it that way.
I'm a muscle car guy, I'm sorry.
Me too.
So yeah, 16, to make the claim of saying 16 of some of the best muscle cars in the world is saying something. So tell me what you brought.
Yeah, it's a very eclectic mix. We've got cars here representing all three of the Detroit 3. Boss 429 Mustang, ZL1 Camaro, Hemicudas, Challengers, convertibles, some automatic, some 4-speeds, and really probably of this whole group, probably the most rare and unusual car, 1969 Pontiac Trans Am convertible. They're rare, only 8 of them were built, but we've got the only one that was built with a white interior, and it happens to be one of only 4 built with a 4-speed. Probably a $3 million plus car.
Insane. This is a show within a show.
Yeah, it is. I think we've got just right here on this black carpet with these 16 cars, probably somewhere in the $20 million range, just in 16 cars, and there's what, over 500 cars at this particular event.
Well, every year they seem to raise the bar. Now, what I find interesting is that some of these cars, like this Camaro behind us, is a perfectly shiny, fresh restoration, and we've got something that looks a little bit original behind it.
Well, that's a good point. You know, there's really two different genres in the car collecting world. Number one are restored cars, which by far represent the bulk of the market. And then on the other hand, there are people that really seek out and lust over pristine original cars. And we've got a couple here that are just absolutely mind-blowing. Certainly the best Plymouth Superbird on the planet. B5 blue, white interior, black vinyl top, 100% original down to the tires with 600 original miles. And on top of that, right next to it, representing the Aero Wars of 1970, sort of the stillborn Torino King Cobra. A lot of people never even heard about these cars. Again, less than 1,000 miles, 100% original down to the thin stripe, wide oval tires, really are standing out in a sea of restored cars.
If you don't see this stuff, you think we're lying. I mean, to talk about these rare of cars, and they're here at this show.
Well, for anybody that might be coming out to this show or a show like this, tip is it's immediate overload for a muscle car junkie. You got to come in, take a quick look, contain yourself, let your heart rate come down a little bit, and take a couple deep breaths and just start soaking in one by one. This is target rich. This whole event is target rich with the best muscle cars in the world, and Mecum is really proud to have a small representation of the 3,000 cars that Mecum is going to have in Kissimmee over 10 days coming up in January, and 16 of really the best cars that will be there are right here to look at.
It's phenomenal. Now, one of the things I think is very cool, talking about this original car, some of this stuff's a little bit strange because we've got a Superbird with a bench seat and a column shift, which people don't normally expect.
Yeah, you know, and that's right. And, you know, we all begin to think that the performance cars from that era were all bucket seats and floor shift. And that certainly is not the case. Unrelated to Mecum, but here at the LS6 Invitational that they put together here from MCACN is a bevy of the best LS6 Chevelles I've ever seen. Quite a few of them, bench seat, column shift. So it was not strictly a Mopar oddity.
So your daily job is you get to be around this stuff all the time, and by being a commentator and the guy we hear on TV with your extremely talented team as an analyst, are we seeing higher values in the all-original stuff or in the super highly restored cars?
Well, I think if you break it down to the question where if we're looking at the car in the same condition, a pristine original car, not a barn find or a patinaed car, but a pristine original car like the Superbird and the King Cobra we've talked about versus the same car that's restored, I'm going to give the value edge to the pristine original car by a slight margin. Now, not everybody likes that look of originality, keeping in mind that the current standards for restoration are typically much higher than what the factory did. the term over-restored is used a lot. There's a lot of people that do like that jewelry look. But then on the other hand, plenty of folks really clamor over these original pristine cars, of which there are very few left. These cars typically were used and abused pretty hard.
Yeah, you know what they say, they're only original once.
That's what they say.
You know, there are some people that believe if you blow them apart even to restore them, you know, that soul has changed a little bit.
Absolutely.
Well, John, we really appreciate Mecum being a part of this event and helping it grow to what it is, and by being such an attraction, you know, to bring people in, and by bringing the game, the A game, you know, in its entirety here. It's really impressive.
Well, the Super Bowl car auctions, Mecum AUCTION, happens in January. 10 days, 3,000 cars. Everything from $5,000 entry-level cars to multi-million-dollar muscle. Some of it we've got right here in display.
Awesome. Thanks for showing us, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yep.